Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of SoTellUs Time. Today, we are going to be talking about your unknown gold mine. You have a gold mine at your disposal and you didn't even realize it. It's super exciting. Before we jump into this episode, I want to tell you a little change we're going to be doing with our show. Troy and I decided that one thing, as we've looked back over the last year and all of these episodes, one thing that we felt would be very helpful to all of our listeners would be to kind of change up the format of our show. So what we're going to be doing is, instead of giving you guys all this great information that sometimes I think can bombard you and kind of overwhelm you, we're going to be breaking these up into series. So instead of having a 45-minute podcast or longer sometimes, we're going to break these up into and try to stay to about 15 minutes. And then it'll be part 1, part 2, part 3. And that way each week you can just focus on one piece of it, go and implement that, and then come back the next week to finish implementing the next piece of it. So it's going to be really exciting. It's going to be really fun. So we've only got 15 minutes, so I better get started here. Today, we're talking about your unknown gold mine, part 1. Next week, part 2 is coming, so stay tuned. You know that old saying, the very best place to get water is from a well that already has water? Whoa!
Wait a minute.
Mind's blown.
I shouldn't just keep digging a well every time I want a little more water?
Yeah, that sounds like it's a good idea. Just keep digging, you know? No, the best place to get water is from a well that already has water. So what does that mean, Trevor? What are you talking about? Well, people like to buy from people they already know or trust. They're more likely to buy from people they already know or trust. So someone who has bought from you in the past is the first person or the first people that you should go after when you have a new product or service to offer to them. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that, because what we're saying here is the people you already have, your existing customers, they are your gold mine. You are going to be able to get more money out of them and easier and faster than you are going out and trying to find new customers. Troy, you've got some information about this. Why don't you take it over?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll put some statistics behind this. Why should you be marketing to your existing customer base? Well, because you're 60 to 70% more likely to sell to an existing customer compared to 5 to 20% with a new prospect.
Yep.
So think about that. Like, literally, I want you to imagine you're standing, on the ground and you're looking off in the distance, looking for prospects, when right below you is a bunch of gold a couple of feet down. That's literally what we're talking about. All you got to do is dig a little bit and boom, there's money there.
Troy, this reminds me of my kids, not to interject here, but it's funny. Just the other day, this happened. My daughter comes in the room. She walks up and she's like, "Where are my sandals? I can't find my sandals anywhere." And she's looking around at like the horizon of the room. And she's like, "Look," and I'm like, she literally walks right up to basically where her sandals are. And I'm like, "Look down, just look down." But I'm not saying anything. I'm just waiting to see. And she's like, and she's kind of like, freaking out a little bit about it. And I'm like, goodness gracious. And she's like, "I can't find my sandals anywhere. Does anyone see my sandals?" And I'm like, oh my gosh. And finally she looks at me and she goes, "Dad, you're not listening. Have you seen my sandals anywhere?" And I was like, "Oh, honey, look down." She looks down. She's like, "Oh, okay." And she puts her sandals on and then takes off. And I'm like, that's what it reminds me of. All too often, we're looking out. We're looking outward saying, "Oh, where can we find the gold? Where's the gold? Where's the gold?" when the gold is right below us.
Yes, exactly. So, and in fact, existing customers are more likely to spend more money with you, and they're actually going to purchase more frequently than new customers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're worth a lot more money to you. But the problem is most businesses don't have a strategy for marketing to their existing base.
Yeah. And actually, this is how we've built multiple businesses of ours, is that we built up this big base of customers. And then every time we had a new product or a new service or a new feature, we were able to roll it out to the existing customer base that we had. Yes. Now taking that customer base, and instead of making, this amount of money, we double that, triple that, quadruple that. And we were able to grow exponentially just from the customer base we already currently had.
Yeah, exactly. It's how we always get these people that are like, "How did you add hundreds or 1,000 new clients onto this product?" That's insane. You're growing so fast. And it's like, well, because we have an existing customer base that loves us.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So how do you actually market to your existing customer base? We're going to talk about two different things, cross-selling and upselling.
Okay.
So first one is cross-selling. And basically the question is, can you provide additional services to your customers that are compatible with your existing business? Now, you may be saying, well, I don't understand. What do you mean by that? Well, here's a perfect example. Do you want fries with that burger?
I thought it was, do you want fries with that shake?
Right? Exactly.
Or do you want a shake with those fries? I don't know.
However it works, right? But the point is, right, you're going in to buy a burger, and what do they offer you? They offer you fries and a drink. And they give it a ridiculous pricing where it's like, I can buy a burger for $5 or I can get a burger, fries, and drink for $6.
Yeah.
What am I going to do, right? And the point of it is like the cross-sell, those additional products usually have a high profit margin on them. So you're making more money. And the great thing about it is because you're not having to go and market fries by themselves, you wouldn't make very much money with that. But because you've already marketed to this person, now the fries are mostly profit. Yeah,
I mean, go into Harkins, the movie theaters or something like that, and you buy a popcorn, and for 25 cents more, instead of having a medium, you can get an extra large. Like, it's crazy. And then with an extra large, you get a refill on it,
Yes.
It's 25. It literally costs them no more money, really.
Exactly.
But that's 25% profit. That's 25 cents more in profit, which is obviously very profitable for them.
Yeah, exactly. So the question is, how can you or what can you cross-sell in your business? And I'll give you a perfect example. I was talking to one of our clients today, and he does residential house cleaning. And he's super excited because he's like, hey, with the coronavirus and everything going on, we have this new system for disinfecting and doing all this stuff.
Yes.
And we're offering this new service where we come in and we do all this disinfecting and sanitizing of all the surfaces in the home, right?
That's
so
awesome.
It's an additional service that he's can offer his existing customer base with no cost to marketing and increase his revenues.
Yeah.
So,
and I actually saw a cleaning company that they somehow had gotten their hands on a ton of the hand sanitizers.
Oh yeah.
And so they were the good size hand sanitizers, not just the little, the little travel size. They were a good size. And so they were actually advertising that, hey, when you purchase or hire us, to our clients, we're offering these hand sanitizers at a discounted rate. So they weren't actually even giving them for free necessarily.
Right.
They were offering them at a discounted rate because people can't even get their hands on hand sanitizer.
Right.
So they were they probably went out and got these for $1 and they were selling them to them for $2 and they're making a 50% profit, right?
Exactly.
So there you go.
Yeah. So cross-selling, that's another way to do it. The next one is the upsell. And this is really important too. So what upgrades can you offer on your existing services? So a perfect example of that is, hey, do you want to add cheese to that burger? Right? I'm not selling them a new burger or fries. I'm just selling them a better burger.
Yes.
Right? And again, higher profit margins because I'm going to charge them, 50 cents for cheese and it's cost me 2 cents.
Yep.
Right? So think of that when you're looking at your business. What upgrades do you have?
Yeah.
That you can add. So if it's carpet cleaning, what additional cleaning can you do? Or services or protectant or
our pool service guys.
Yes.
Our pool service guys. We just got our pool finished just a little while ago. I've got my guy coming. He comes every single week, 4 times a month. It's awesome. But the first time he's there, there's the startup fee, right?
Yep.
And so the startup fee includes all sorts of things like the little net that you skim the top and the little brush to brush everything and some extra chemicals just in case and all this stuff. Well, then while he was there, so I paid for that and I was like, he didn't even tell me that I got this additional stuff in the, the little, I don't know, the skimmer thing or whatever you call it. And I was like, oh, that's a nice surprise. I like that. But while he's there, he said, hey, by the way, do you want to be able to control this whole pool from your phone? And I thought, yeah, that sounds awesome. He says, that's perfect. He goes, I can pick it up and you know what? I will give it to you at cost and then just a little bit additional for installing the system. And so he's like, hey, for $425, I can make it so that you can control everything from your phone.
Yep.
And an added bonus to that is I can actually log in from my own home and make changes to your pool as well. So if you ever have an issue over the weekend or something like that, where we're not going to be there right away, I can log in and see what's going on, see any errors, do all this stuff. It's going to make your equipment work better, longer, and it's going to make me more accessible to you. I was like, okay, $425 to be able to control everything? Awesome. Yes.
Yep.
And then the very next thing was, oh, and by the way, these 5 water features that you have, hey, for an extra $200, I can put this little machine on it that from your phone will turn the water features on and off. Do you want to do that? It was all these little upsells, but they all made sense and they were all very valuable to me.
Yep.
And the funny thing is if you think about it, he hasn't done this forever. He didn't start his business by doing all these upsells. He's learned this and technology has changed over the years and he's adapted and evolved with it. So that's what we're wanting you guys to think of today. What can you do? What can you add to your business?
Right, exactly. And the other thing too to remember is with his service, like our service is this much a month, blah, blah. No, he got some trust with you and then he was able to upsell you from there.
Exactly.
So this week, that's what we want you to focus on is what can you cross-sell or what can you upsell to your existing customer base and come up with those ideas this week. And then next week, what are we going to be talking about, Trevor?
Well, next week's going to be part 2. We're actually going to go over 8 ways to make more money from your existing customers. 8 specific ways and things that you guys can do to make more money from your customers. And that's going to be part 2. So that's it for part 1 today, guys. We just wanted to get your minds thinking. This is how we're going to be doing the show moving forward. We want to give you a little bit of information and that way some things to execute and move forward with. And then the next week, you'll be able to continue that conversation with us and take the next steps. So I hope that you guys like the new format. Message us, Facebook message us, email us, call us, whatever you want to do, Instagram us. Let us know what you think of the new format. I think it's going to be very valuable because Troy and I obviously grew up in the speaking industry. We travel all over the world speaking. And one thing that we have seen from event to event to event is called event overload, information overload.
Yes.
You get too much information. You get so excited. You're like, yeah, I'm going to conquer the world. Then you go home and there's too much to do. So you end up doing nothing. And we don't want that to happen with our podcast. We're going to give you a little information with something to execute, and then we're going to move on to the next week and do the same thing. So let us know what you guys think. And as always, please share the podcast. Let other business owners know about it. Put it on your social media sites. Email it to your friends. Whatever you want to do to promote it, but please do so. We want to help everybody, help millions of businesses all over the world. And we're approaching that very quickly. So it's very exciting. We've grown so much in this year and we want to keep growing. So we want to keep helping you while you keep helping us. We will talk to you guys next time, next week, part 2, 8 ways to make more money from your existing customers next time on SoTellUs Time.